All right, so today we're just going to do a couple of example problems, kind of work through those. You'll have some problems like this on tonight's assignment. That's why I want to do some like this. So this is going to use a couple of things, primarily three. One, the angles in a triangle add up to 180. Secondly, an exterior angle is equal to very good. The exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior angles. Now you did really well. And in an isosceles angle, isosceles triangle, well, that's the definition. But then that's true. What do we know about the base angles? They're congruent to one another. The base angles are congruent to each other. Those are the three things we're going to be using on these problems. Okay? So let's take a look. And when you're doing a big problem like this, I mentioned it the other day, but I think it bears repeating. A lot of times you can't do it alphabetically. So don't get hung up on, I've got to find A first and then B and then C. Fact is, on this one, you got to find a lot of things before you can get to finding A. So start with something that you see that you could do. For example, notice this triangle, we have 2 out of the 3 angles, right? So that means we can find E. How can we find E? There are 2 ways to do it. There's a fast way and a slow way. Yes? Yeah, 21 plus 35. The exterior angle is equal to the sum of its 2 remote interiors. So we just need to do 21 plus 35. That's 56. E is 56. What is F what? F is an interior angle. It's not an exterior, so we can't do that the same way, but we can find angle F right now. Morrissey?
It's 48.
Yes, can you tell everyone why, please, sir?
Because the base angle and the other base angle is 48.
Yes, in this triangle, it's isosceles, and this is the base. So the 2 base angles have to be congruent to one another. Thank you, sir. There's one more easy one, and then we start having to get into a little more work. Does anyone see the one other easy one? Yes. Yes, what about B?
It's 56 as well, because the 2 lines are parallel.
And what kind of angles are these?
Corresponding.
Corresponding. You're on fire today. Well done. These 2 are corresponding, and they're made by parallel lines. This is going to happen to you in most problems. You're going to get to a place where you do the easy ones, and you're like, okay, now I'm stuck. Well, just start finding any angles that you can then. Okay? So I will take a suggestion for finding any angle in this picture, even if it's not lettered.
You find the angle next to E by subtracting 180 minus 56.
Okay. 180 minus 56 is 124. So that's 124. Yes.
The vertical angle across from E
Is,
56.
yep. And likewise, this one is 124. Yes. I'm sorry?
Oh, the angle next to D and 35, 180 minus 48 plus 48.
Okay, so we've got 2 of the 3 angles in this triangle. So we can add 48 and 48. That's 96. From 180 is 84 for this angle.
You can add 35 to 84 and subtract 180 from it to find E.
Yes, these 3 angles together make a straight angle. So the old stuff hasn't gone away. So we'll do 35 plus 84 That's 919 from 180. Yes, thank you, 61.
You can do 56 plus 61 minus 180 to find C.
Yeah, we can find C by using that little triangle. I'm going to point out to you that there was another way we could have found C in just a second, but let's go ahead and do this. So 56 plus 61 is 117 from 180 is what, 63? Yes.
I know the other way to find C.
Oh, please tell me.
If you do the 35 plus 84,
Wait,
minus
35 plus 84,
minus 56, you find C.
Okay. I wasn't thinking of that way, but I like it. He said you could do this whole angle by adding 35 and 84, and that'll be congruent to this whole angle, won't it? Because the lines are parallel, and those are what kind of angles? Corresponding. So then you would just have to subtract the 56. Good. There's another way. Yes?
Like, couldn't you add like 63, 56, and like, I don't know, like, never mind. 180 minus, like, yeah, I was gonna say something like that.
Well, but we don't know the other angle in there.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I meant.
For the 61, is that what you're talking about? Or
No, never mind.
okay. What I was looking at was this big triangle that goes from here to here to here. We've got two of those three angles. This whole angle would be 69, just adding the 21 and the 48. And I've got, yeah, and this is 48. So let's see if that works out to the same thing. 69 plus 48 is 117 from 180 is 63. So it works. There's more than one right way to do that. All right, we still need to find A and G. Anybody have any suggestions for us? There's a really quick way to find this angle. Yes?
63.
Wait. Hang on. I was looking here. Go ahead.
So since the two lines are parallel and the 61 is corresponding to that one angle.
Yeah,
That'd
this
be-
one angle that's
wouldn't
not
that be
labeled.
61 too,
Yes.
and then
Hang on. Yeah, hang on just for a second. Were you thinking of a different way to do that, Cade?
Like 63 plus 56, subtract 180.
Yes. We could do it that way. 63 plus 56, subtract that from 180. So that's 61. Now go ahead, please.
and then A would also be 61 since the lines are congruent.
Yes, since these two sides are congruent, this is the base of an isosceles triangle. So 61 plus 61 is 122. From 180 is 58 for G. Okay, so lots and lots of things you can find. All right, two more problems. For this problem, it says the perimeter of triangle JTD is 56. We haven't talked about perimeter in this class, but I know that you guys know what it is, right? Who can raise your hand and tell me what perimeter is? Who can raise their hand and tell me what perimeter is? Yes, sir.
The sum of all the sides of the shape.
Exactly right. Well said. It's the sum of all the sides. And you're like, why are they telling me the perimeter and then asking me about an angle? Well, if we know the perimeter and we know the length of JT is 10 and the length of TD is 23, by the way, these are frequently not drawn to scale. right? There's no way that this length is actually 10 and this length is actually 23 if it's the same unit of measure. But if I know those two, what else can I find? I can find the length of JD. So let's do that. So 10 plus 23. So far we've got 33. And we do 56 minus 33, what does that leave us with? 23. So this side is 23. Why is that significant? Go ahead.
Isosceles triangle.
Yeah, it's an isosceles triangle. These two sides are now congruent, which makes JT the what? The base. And if JT is the base, what else do I know?
T, DT, and JD are like the legs.
Right, these are the legs. What else do I know?
J and T are congruent.
Yes, angle J and angle T are congruent. The angles at the ends of the base, called the base angles, are going to be congruent. Well, I want to find one of those. How can I do it?
You subtract what you do 180 minus 56 and divide by 2.
Yeah, do 180 minus 56. That's 124. So these two angles have to add together to be 124. So I'll cut that in half. So each of these angles is 62. Okay, you'll see some problems like that on your homework tonight. All right, let's do another one involving perimeter. This one says the perimeter of triangle KYR is 82. That's not easy to put on the diagram, so I'm not going to try. It says that angle K is congruent to angle Y. So I'm going to mark that. K is congruent to Y. The length of KY is 4x plus 12. The length of KR is 3x minus 5. And it asks me to find the length of YR. This is kind of a multi-step problem. If these two angles are congruent, those must be the base angles. So which side is the base? KY is the base. So what does that tell me about the other two sides? Yeah, those are the congruent legs. So in terms of x, how long is segment YR?
3x minus 5.
It's 3x minus 5, exactly right. Now the perimeter becomes important because the perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So the sum of all three of these sides is going to be 82. So 4x plus 12 plus 3x minus 5 plus another 3x minus 5 is equal to not 180. You got to be careful about that. Students frequently want to make the sides of a triangle add up to 180. These sides add up to 82. So grouping the like terms, that's 10x plus 2 is equal to 82. Subtract 2 and we get 10x is equal to 80. Divide by 10. We get x is 8. So YR will be 3 times 8 minus 5. It's 24 minus 5 is 19. Any questions about that? Okay, then if you would please go ahead and clear off your desks. I'm sorry?
Still get confused a little on the
We know that since these two angles are congruent, that's got to be the base. Because the base angles are always at the ends of the base.